So I've always been curious about how do you hack chips. So when you talk about hardware security, it's actually a pretty broad industry in say. So you have um, device hacking as a practice, which is more on the functional security side, and then you have bootloader, kernel, firmware hacking, which is more or less software hacking, software reverse engineering tied to the hardware. And then at the lowest level, you have, bare bone silicon hacking. So I'm always intrigued by, all these different techniques that folks use to hack chips and find vulnerabilities. So for our viewers, I just want to understand what are the vulnerabilities in these chips and how do you go about reverse engineering chips at a high level, and then we'll deep dive into each of the different techniques that people use.
All right. Yes. It's a very broad question, but let me put it this way: like when we are dealing with chips, it's usually the chips comes from a device, But sometimes when you want to have like information about the device, you want to first know what the chip is doing. So I see chip hacking as a way of getting information. First of all, not necessarily to get like a final hack, but to get the information. And I think the best example of this, and I think it's also where the people start when they start to do like chip hacking, is like getting boot RAM out of chips. Because suddenly, if you have like let's say a secure element or a secure chip, it can be an SoC, a smart card, or a secure element, broadly a secure element, let's say. If you extract the boot RAM, suddenly you get knowledge about what's happening inside the chip. It's not a black box anymore. So being able to extract the data from the chip, and I'm speaking boot RAM, but it can be also extracting the flash, the fuses, and so on, memories in general. But suddenly you have enough knowledge that you can understand what's going on, and you might be able to, create a very simple attack that's based on that. If you have knowledge about the software that's running on your chip, it becomes easy to know where to glitch, when to glitch, and this kind of things. So as you said, it's like we are using a lot of tools and equipment. It's kind of high tech. Some of the tools are called microsurgery, for chips. And basically, you get like to get so much knowledge about the hardware and the embedded firmware that suddenly it gives you access to more tools. So we are opening doors in a way. So the way I see it is we take black boxes and we convert them to I would say gray boxes, like part of the hardware is known, part of the firmware is known, and from that, you can start to do whatever you want. So I say whatever you want because the end goal to me is very broad. So for the hackers, it can be like I don't know, emulating a device, cloning a device, but for the security researcher, it's finding vulnerabilities, backdoors, looking for the supply chain, and this kind of things. Working in digital forensics is a big thing too. So you try to extract secrets that people will use in a broader scope. So we go from chip, we extract secrets, and people are using this for working on the device, basically. So this is where we are when we do chip hacking, I would say.